Hey guys, I feel so elated today. I mean, I'm literally ecstatic. I was watching school's challenge quiz for the youngsters and, at the prep and primary school level. And or this evening, one of my alma maters, they were playing against, I think Montego Bay. I don't remember what's the name of it's basically at the primary level as well. I don't remember the exact name of the school, but somewhere, Montego Bay, something or other, against the very notable, the very esteemed, I call it, the vast preparatory school. I felt so good seeing my former school, participating in this activity, let me call it that way. And as I listened to how the students answered the question, and they were sharp as a razor. And as I listened to how they answered the questions, their religious knowledge, their social knowledge, their IQ was just on point, and even their critical thinking skills was just on point. I am so sorry, people, and I'm not apologizing in terms of my joy celebrating my alma mater. If your school enters and they do well, celebrate them. There are some fundamental principles that I know. When I listen to them, I said, that they have maintained and even probably improved. And trust me, back in my time, it was good. They maintained this spirituality. Let me not call it religiosity. Jesus came and did away with religion. So it didn't matter what Bible question they asked, they were able to answer that. I felt so good. They were very knowledgeable about social affairs, because one must be not just religious like that. No. We live in a real world, and other areas they were knowledgeable in. Sometimes they were you can know that they prepared very well. That one of the times, if they had just waited until they completed it, I think it would have. The question was something about which country is the largest country in the not English speaking. What's the other one again? Something like you'd say, Spanish speaking or something of the sort. But they thought they were going to say, which country is the largest country in the world, and they mentioned China, and they said no, we're talking in terms of the Spanish speaking, whatever. I think it was Brazil that would have been the answer. And I said, just easy, Vaz, just easy, my students. But I feel so good. It means that Mrs. Vaz, the founder of this prestigious school, employed something that has carried through, like how the KFC has carried through, that secret to and the recipe to people still buying KFC, and the lines are still long from here to Timbuktu. Where critical thinking skills are concerned, being sharp in terms of your knowledge, in terms of your wisdom, when you execute and you bring forth the answer required, the requisite answer. I felt so good, and at the end of it, they were at 41. I think the other team was at 60, and they did their best. They did their best. Not going to say they did not. They did their very best, and kudos to them. And I'm sure that next time they enter, they will do even better. We celebrate all of our children. We celebrate all of our students. But I'm very happy for, as I said, one of my alma maters, the prep school that I went to some years ago, just the other day. Just the other day when I was a little girl. you know but I respect that, and I felt so good, and they spoke well. And there's a thing with Vaz Prep, I remember, because it happened for me. I mean, when I went to Vaz, they taught us we better learn how to spell. We had sessions for that. They didn't play where that was concerned. They taught us that the importance of spelling, and spelling correctly. And you wondered if we were preparing for a spelling bee competition. I kid you not. So when they would ask, can you spell the word this or spell the word that, they were quick. Yeah, man. I said, this is really vast preparatory. I wouldn't bother mention Bible knowledge. I was saying to somebody, I remember the days when all the Beatitude scripture you would know, all of well, not so much the ones with the fruits of the spirit, but the beatitudes, and some of the Psalms 23, Psalms 27, Psalms, I don't remember some of them offhand. Mrs. Vaz did not play about religion in a good sense. She did not play about the Bible. So when they as they asked the question, the students would know Vaz was big on that, and and to see them maintain that, kudos to them, big up to them. To see that they maintain that spelling bee competition type style, kudos to them. To see them maintain making the children socially aware, not just heavily minded and no earthly good, as they would say. I was really proud. Oh my God, to say the very least. I felt so good. I felt so good. Big up to you. Big up to the staff. And the management of Vaz Preparatory School continue to raise that flag high in honor of Mrs. Hazel Vaz. She was a force to be reckoned with. God has somehow blessed me with fantastic women that I didn't understand their importance as a youngster. Mrs. Hazel Vaz and her beautiful daughter, Mrs. Hewlett, was a principal in my era, right? And when I went to high school, the late, great, and venerable Sister Mary Stephanie was my principal. Even people from other schools, revered her, so to speak. They were fearful of her because she was one of the most strict, no nonsense, keep her word sort of lady. One time in my life, I've heard that lady spoke something in patois, and she used the word "niam." The whole school we were breathless. We were frightened. We never heard her spoke anything in patois before. Never. That was the first and the last in my time. I'm not saying that she didn't. She never did that. So we were exposed, to things like these. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that if you speak patois, it means that you're dunce. Because, sometimes when people are expressing some things, people will put meaning to it. So let me quickly nullify any sort of any possible misunderstanding. I'm not saying that. I'm just giving an example of, the kinds of and the caliber of principals and founders and teachers that we were exposed to. Not all of them were necessarily great, but those two ladies, they left an indelible mark in my life. In hindsight, when I look back on what it is that they were promulgating and what it is that they wanted to uphold in our society as young girls. They exemplified when the scripture says the older woman must guide the younger one. The older woman must guide the younger one. We didn't understand, but now I do, and just big up to them. Big up to Vaz Preparatory once again. And I pray it would be nice if they can win overall. But, they're winners in my book. They're winners in my book. Fantastic school, fantastic administration. I'm sure they still have fantastic teachers. I've always had very good teachers. Although not necessarily all of them, we were fond of each other. It was even if it was mutual, sorry. But, great, Mrs. Vaz didn't just hire people. She took on people who decided that they were going to make it a part of their daily mantra for children to move from dunce to bright, from illiterate to literate, and become social fits in the society at large. I really and truly respected that with Mrs. Vaz. They didn't just take on teachers. They could just come and say, oh, you want a teaching job. They somehow had the discernment, to pick the right fit for the particular classes. They had that. She had that gift. Fantastic. May her soul certainly rest in peace after so many years. And she had a fantastic, although people don't like nepotism, but I can tell you they did a fantastic job. I'm so sorry. Guys, they did a fantastic job. I'm a proud product of Vaz Preparatory School. Proud, happy, elated, joyous. Yes, and I just felt good seeing them today. All right, guys, so follow me on TikTok, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and please share this message.